A major event doesn't just raise the ceiling on your best nights, it raises the floor on your worst ones. The 2026 Commonwealth Games in Glasgow, Scotland are a perfect case study in how that plays out across pricing, occupancy, and demand. The Games will run from July 23rd through August 2nd in Glasgow, featuring 3,000 athletes from 74 nations competing across 10 sports. During the 11-day event, Lighthouse pricing data currently shows Glasgow hotels advertising £334 per night, and in comparison, actualized pricing was £138 for the same days in 2025, good for a 153% increase. But in my opinion, what's more interesting is the shape of the curve. In 2025, pricing followed a normal weekly rhythm. Fridays and Saturdays peaked in the range of £177 to £213, while midweek and Sunday nights dropped to the £105 to £124 range. In 2026, the Games compressed that gap almost entirely. Looking at the cheapest night from the time window last year, that equivalent night of Thursday, July 30th, is now advertising prices averaging £340. The year-over-year lifts are actually appearing to be the largest on what have traditionally been the weakest days. Thursday, July 30th is up 213%, Wednesday, July 29th is up 195%, and closing ceremony Sunday is up 209%. Comparatively, Saturday, July 25th, when 2025 prices were already at their natural weekend peak of £213, that is showing a comparatively modest 65% lift in advertised prices. The Games aren't just raising the ceiling, they are raising the floor. And the effect spans every tier. Advertised prices for 3-star hotels are up 159%, and 4-star are up 145%. The booking pace tells you how early the market signaled this. The on-the-books occupancy curve for both years follows nearly the same shape, with the same slight and gradual upward build. But of course, the difference is that in 2026, the entire curve sits more than 30 percentage points higher throughout. By mid-June, Glasgow hotels were already at roundly 80% aggregate occupancy for the Games, versus just 46% at the equivalent point in 2025. The demand signal arrived well ahead and never let up. A quick note on how we will read the demand charts on these next slides. Lighthouse's proprietary demand index is a composite metric that quantifies overall demand intensity for a given stay date. A level of 1.0 represents normal demand for that market. The index considers factors such as price movement, hotel and flight search activity, and hotel availability, and aggregates it into a single metric that allows us to level the playing field and compare demand across dates. In 2025, Glasgow's demand during these same dates averaged 1.19 with a typical weekend skew, Saturdays reaching 1.79 while Sundays dipped to 0.92. Add the 2026 Games, and every single day jumps to very high demand. The average increases to 2.56, a 125% increase. The peak of 3.04 lands on Saturday, August 1st, the second to last day of the event, and the Games opening ceremony is actually the lowest demand day we're seeing, and even that date is showing a demand index of 2.25. So, the takeaway for revenue managers is this: events like the Commonwealth Games don't just lift pricing, it restructures how demand distributes across the week. Midweek pricing power comes close to rivaling that of the weekend, which means there's still upside on those traditionally discounted nights. And the occupancy buildup chart is the demand signal. When bookings are already running 30 plus points up year over year, and you're still 6 months out, the pricing power is real and it is durable. Thanks as always for tuning into the Spotlight podcast. My name is Blake Ryder, and we will see you back here next week with another Lighthouse Quick Take.